Bienvenue. À ce moment, je passe la parole à Monsieur Michele Capasso et j'aimerais lui demander de quelle manière les initiatives communautaires et de base peuvent-elles aider à aborder les dynamiques des conflits locaux et encourager la confiance.
À tous. Merci à mon cher ami Miguel Ángel Moratinos pour l'invitation. Et je suis très ému parce que j'ai vu le Mufti de Sarajevo, une ville à mes chers, parce que c'est à partir de Sarajevo que nous avons commencé à travailler pour la paix contre la guerre. Quelqu'un ce matin, il m'a appelé et m'a dit « Qu'est-ce que tu fais à Guernica? Tu devrais être ici à Rome pour le funérailles du pape qui c'était un cher ami. » Et j'ai dit « La manière la plus opportune et la plus forte pour honorer Pape François, c'est d'être ici à Guernica. » Et j'ai pris ce matin un écrit en espagnol qui nous a voulu dédier, ça fait 3 mois. Fin janvier, moi et Pia Molinari qui est dans la salle, nous l'avons rencontré à Rome et il nous a écrit en espagnol un écrit sur le dialogue. Je vais le lire en espagnol comme il l'a écrit et je m'excuse pour mon espagnol. Pape François il a écrit « El dialogo ».
Le dialogue naît d'une attitude de respect vers l'autre personne, de la conviction que l'autre personne a quelque chose de bon à dire. Il suppose qu'il y a un espace dans le cœur pour le point de vue, l'opinion et la proposition de l'autre personne. Le dialogue implique un accueil cordial et pas une condamnation préalable. Pour dialoguer, il faut savoir baisser les défenses, ouvrir les portes de chez nous et offrir la chaleur humaine.
Comme aussi Pape Jean-Paul II a soutenu de son départ les États Unis du Monde, qui sont une organisation internationale qui met ensemble les pays, sont 181, mais surtout les acteurs de la société civile, et surtout les villes, sont 16 000 aujourd'hui qui ont adhéré. Et avec cette combinaison, qui c'est une grande force réelle, on peut trouver les possibilités pour réduire les conflits, parce que la base de la société, tous les peuples ne désirent pas la guerre. La guerre dépend de la folie humaine des gouverneurs de quelques pays qui malheureusement aujourd'hui sont dans la dimension plus médiocre des derniers siècles. Si par exemple nous avons un cher ami président d'Israël comme Shimon Peres, un autre cher ami comme Mikhail Gorbatchev, président de la Russie, et avec une grande liste, les choses aujourd'hui seront différentes. Jamais on a vu un président de la plus grande puissance du monde, les États-Unis, qu'il travaille avec des intérêts personnels. Ils ont gagné, lui et ses amis, des milliards et des milliards de dollars. Ça, c'est un scandale et c'est un manque d'éthique dans la vie politique. Aujourd'hui, j'ai écrit un texte en espagnol, puis je vous le donne, mais aujourd'hui, je vais parler avec le cœur, pas avec l'écriture. En voyant ce matin cet pays merveilleux avec le vert.
And as I was in this beautiful country with a view over the sea, with the beautiful houses, we are really starving in terms of happiness and love. It's a suicidal kind of selfishness that has contaminated all of our mankind. See, all of us are very unhappy. We are very sad, and things are happening each day that make us feel absolutely desperate, and that is family members are killing each other, children are killing each other. In other words, these are horrible things that are happening. So we have to focus on civil society as a basis, and we have to educate our young people, our youth, because people, young people, don't really see many positive things happening in the world. And what they have to do, they haven't got to be hunters of positivism. And what we were able to believe in socialism. My father was a socialist. He worked with Sandro Pertini. So therefore, there was a certain amount of hope. So in other words, socialism meant that you were there to serve the people, that you were there to serve the common good. But nowadays, young people are only leading virtual lives. A virtual life is not conducive to anything good. And now to answer your question, after this introduction, how can we work with a civil society to reduce conflicts? Well, above all, by having good information, and that is the responsibility of the mass media is absolutely fundamental. And if we're going to say things that are not true, that means that what we're doing is destroying the mechanism with which we are sharing things in civil society. And something that seems to be very important, and I've sometimes discussed this with Pope Francis, and that is that what we have to do, we have to try to set up a coalition that is focused on values on the one hand, and also on shared economic mechanisms on the other, because it is clear that the economy is associated with values. So if we establish an equilibrium between economy and values, we would then be on the right path. And now I would like to say a couple of things about the role that is played by international organizations and how they can join civil society to find solutions to deal with the current situation and construct peace. We have to provide information on the global level, on the global plane. The first thing we have to do today is first we have to save the planet. That's point number one. We have to save the Earth because we are facing a tragic situation. Nobody's talking about this. And I'm not only referring to the earthquakes we've had in Italy. There have been 500% more of unexpected events that are associated with the climate. We've had tremendous rainfalls and unexpected storms, etc. Nobody says anything about that. Nobody says anything about what has to be done. And unfortunately, I still find in documents of the European Union the issue of energy transition, which is absolute madness. So we have to carry out an ecological conversion. So what I mean to say by that is that we have to change our life methodology, and we must understand that each and every one of us is here to save the world, or is supposed to save the world. So this doesn't only mean that we have to try to do something about these situations, but also have a constitution that includes the rights and duties of the inhabitants of this planet, although we are working on this. And at the very center, we have the ecological conversion, and we're asking large cities and smaller towns to become involved. And it's lovely to see that we have such a young mayor here with us today, like the mayor from Soria. But cities have to play a fundamental role, because cities receive the requests of people and they can do something about those needs and meet them. So it's the cities of the world that should unite to establish the right kind of methodology and inform people on what has to be done, which is absolutely essential nowadays. So we have to save the earth and we have to protect peace. But peace is not a theory or it's something that is in limbo. No, peace has to be experienced firsthand. And somebody said to me once upon a time, look, you must understand that you have to live peace and that you have to be capable of transforming the love for power, which is what you can find everywhere, but it's the power of love. In other words, you have to work with people. You have to work with as many people as you can in whatever is good and true. And this is something that I mentioned 40 years ago, and I've been working to achieve this goal since then on a daily basis. And I only hope that from Guernica we'll be able to draw some conclusions and cooperate with other organizations. We have to convince our young people, we have to mobilize our society, all of our societies, because we are facing a very difficult situation, because we have the destruction of the planet on the one hand, and we also have the definitive destruction of peace. So we have to fight against all of that. And we need to get the mayors, the men and women and the young people of cities, we have to unite our forces so that we can generate a good and positive force that can change how we're doing things right now. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup, Señor Capasso.
Thank you very much,